as I also removed my dress, hoping to get into the shower with him. Maybe we could start from there. I knocked on the bathroom door. My love, open the door. Let's have our first shower as a couple together, I said excitedly. Then he responded, No, my love. I am almost done. Just give me a minute. I'll be right out. Ha! Who wouldn't want to shower with a beautiful woman like me? I thought to myself as I sat down to wait for him. I got married to my pastor's son Tade, whom I met in church after I returned from studying abroad. He was very devoted to the church activities while owning a very lucrative business his family had handed to him. All the sisters in my church wanted him, including me. His spirituality was top notch, and when he sang and prayed, you would be compelled to turn your life around. The day he approached me and said the Holy Spirit told him I was to be his wife, I almost jumped for joy, but had to maintain my composure. I pretended and asked him for time to pray about it, but truth be told, I had already said yes in my heart. As a poor girl from a humble background, I wondered what he saw in me, as there were other beautiful sisters of his socio-economic class. Why did he not go for them? I kept thinking. But when I spoke to my sister, she said maybe he saw how spiritual I am, and that is what the son of a pastor should look out for anyway. Well, that convinced me that we were a great match. The next Sunday, after a beautiful service, I rushed to him to give a response. Yes, I will marry you, I said to him. He gave me a very big smile, and all I could see was his glowing skin and beautiful set of teeth. Ah, this man is fine. I can't wait to marry him, I thought to myself. He asked if I had prayed about it, and I told him yes, but between you and I am not sure I got an answer or waited for any. All I wanted to do was marry Tade, whom every lady in church wanted. I was so excited he chose me. We courted for a few months while planning the wedding, and during that period, we never touched each other as we agreed to avoid premarital sex and prevent anything that would cause sexual tension between us. I was happy with this arrangement, as all I have ever wanted was to give my body to the man I call my husband. I admired his self-control as a man because he never did put me in a compromising position. Our wedding day was the talk of the town. Dignitaries were in attendance as people traveled from overseas to celebrate our big day with us. It's not like I knew any of them, as I came from a very poor family, but Tade on the other hand came from money and affluence, so his family made sure to make our day very special. When it was time to read our vows, his words were so special that they made me cry and almost ruined my makeup. When I read mine, I could see the smile on his face, especially when I said, through thick and thin, I will always love you till the day I die. I remember him leaning towards me and asking if I meant every word, and I chuckled and said, yes, why not? All the while, throughout the reception party, all I could think about was how hot he looked and how exciting our night would be. This would be our first time together, and I couldn't wait to experience every bit of it. It's almost evening. I am already tired. Let's leave now. You know we have a long night ahead of us. I whispered into Tade's ear, smiling, as all I could think about was touching the body of the man I love, the man God had given to me. He laughed and said, Ha, the party is just starting, my love. It would be rude to leave our guest, and besides, we have all night till eternity to do that thing you are thinking of. Don't worry, relax, my love. I blushed and smiled. Of course, I didn't want to be rude by leaving our guest, so I relaxed. All through the party, Tade kept giving me more wine to drink, and I kept drinking innocently, thinking he was trying to make me relax for what was to come. So I kept drinking until I became tipsy. We left the party at 10 p.m. that night and got to our hotel room. I was already tired, but I still wanted my man's touch. By now, I was expecting him to be all over me, touching me, but instead, he removed his suit and went to the bathroom to have a shower. Oh, maybe he's just tired. Maybe he's trying to clean himself up for me, I thought, as I also removed my dress, hoping to get into the shower with him. Maybe we could start from there. I knocked on the bathroom door. My love, open the door. Let's have our first shower as a couple together, I said excitedly. Then he responded, No, my love. I am almost done. Just give me a minute. I'll be right out. Ha! Who wouldn't want to shower with a beautiful woman like me? I thought to myself as I sat down to wait for him. A few minutes turned into an hour. He came out, and the first thing he said was, "Oh, are you still awake?" I was surprised at his question and asked, "Why would I sleep when I am hungry for you?" He laughed and said he was tired, but I should go and have my bath anyway. I hurriedly had my bath and prepared myself to look seductive for my husband, hoping to have the time of my life when I came out. I got out of the bathroom only to find my beloved husband fast asleep and snoring. Honestly, I was disappointed. I really wanted to have a good time tonight and start my duties as a wife. I walked up to him and touched his shoulder, only for him to turn around as he continued to sleep. I went to lay beside him, staring at the ceiling. I understood we had a long day and the party was draining, but he had not even made the move to kiss me, let alone touch me since we got to the hotel room. Our first kiss was in church, after exchanging our vows, and all through the party, he did not even show any affection towards me. I just thought he was shy. But now that we are in our room in private, why would he not kiss me? Why would he not touch me? He did not even shower with me, and now he's asleep? Well, it's been a long day. Maybe he's just tired, I said to myself, and soon I fell asleep. The next morning, I was woken up with an English breakfast in bed, a full course meal. Ifemi, my love, my queen, thank you for agreeing to marry an ugly boy like me. That was what I heard Tade say as he tried to get me up to eat. Ugly, Ke. You're not ugly, oh, I said and laughed. You must have been really tired yesterday, babe. After I got out of the bathroom, I met you sleeping, so I left you alone, I told him. Oh, I am sorry, my love. Yesterday was a carnival. You know now. I was really tired. I am sorry about that, Tade responded. I accepted his apology as I knew we had the rest of the day to try again. It's the day after our wedding and we were still exhausted from the wedding party, so we decided to stay indoors. I tried to make sure he was well relaxed. I massaged his feet and shoulders and ran him a bath. I did not initiate anything as I was hoping he would start it. After all, he's the man, and I read in an article that men are usually the first to initiate romance. But he didn't. All he kept doing was eat, watch TV, and chat with me. I was patiently waiting for the love of my life to touch me, but he never did. Not even a kiss. Maybe he was still shy, I thought. Evening came, and I decided that if the mountain does not go to Mohammed, Mohammed will go to the mountain. I was going to make the first move and seduce my husband. After all, is it not my right? I stood up, changed the mood of the room light, and walked up to him. He stood up too. I was smiling as I thought he was coming to me, but I couldn't wait, so I hurriedly walked up to him and reached for his lips. And before I could kiss him, he pushed me. I was shocked, and while I was still wondering what had happened, he started to cry that I had stepped on a toe that had been hurting him for months now. I immediately composed myself and tried to see what was wrong with his toe, but he told me to go and sit down. I was surprised because all through our courtship, he had never told me he had a bad toe, nor had I seen him in pain as a result of an injury on that toe. I immediately started to apologize and even offered to care for it, but he told me not to worry and walked out of the room. I sat down on my bed thinking about what had happened and wondering what was really going on. I started to feel guilty as I did not mean to hurt his toe. Few hours later, Tade got back to the room walking perfectly. I asked how his toe was as he was limping when he left. He said he had asked the hotel staff for first aid kits and some painkillers which helped him out. I was relieved as I did not want to be the cause of his pain. Should I try touching him again? I thought to myself, but I decided to let him be. I woke up in the middle of the night feeling a strong urge to be touched by my man, so I moved closer to him and put my arms around his body, touching him from his shoulders, and as I moved down to his waist, he woke up and immediately asked what I was doing. By now, I was already upset, so I responded immediately, "What do you think I am trying to do? I am trying to touch my husband." He looked at me in a weird way and told me to go to bed, that I wasn't in the mood. Ha! How can he not be in the mood? This is already the third day of us being married. There must be something wrong somewhere, I kept saying to myself. That morning, I called my sister to complain as I did not understand what was going on. She calmed me down and said maybe his body was just tired and we should try going to a place where we both feel relaxed. She suggested we go back home since the hotel was no longer working for us. Maybe a home cooked meal and the smell of fresh air would do the trick. I bought the idea as it sounded reasonable, so I woke Tade up and told him about my wanting to go back home. He agreed and we started packing our things. All through the packing, I was really upset, but hopeful. Maybe my sister was right, who knows. When we got to our home, it felt welcoming. Reality dawned on me as I am now a wife, but I was greatly worried that my husband was not showing me the affection I wanted. All he does is display nice gestures, but I still wanted to be kissed on the lip, not on the cheek, and have my breast touched, not just a hug. We still haven't consummated the marriage, meaning it's not even solid. Ha! What is all this? I quickly put my bags in the dressing room while I hurriedly went to the market to get some foodstuffs to prepare a special meal. I also stopped by the supermarket to get a bottle of wine my sister suggested that might do the trick. I made dinner as soon as I got back, took a shower, dressed nicely, sprayed lavender perfume around my body. The table was set and I asked Tade to come downstairs to eat. He was really happy and kept complimenting my cooking. All he kept saying was, "Your food is so delicious." I was pleased. And after our meal, I opened the bottle of white wine. It tasted really good. Maybe tonight is the night, I thought to myself with a very big smile on my face. At that point, the bottle of wine was almost empty, and we were both tipsy. I turned on some background music and sat on the couch beside him, then dragged him up so we could dance to it. As I held him tight, I smelled his perfume and could feel his body. I raised my head and tried to kiss him, and this time around, he kissed me back. I was surprised and relieved. Maybe my sister was right after all. We kissed for a minute, but I was still expecting him to start touching me, or even his manhood to have started poking me. But nothing happened. The article I read earlier that day said I was going to feel it poking me, and if not, I should just slide my hand in. So I decided I was going to slide my hand in. Slowly removed one of my hands from the back of his neck, went down to his shoulder, and then to his waist. And as I was about to slide in to feel my man, all of a sudden he held my hand and held his mouth as if he was about to vomit. I was shocked and asked him what was wrong. He hurriedly ran to the bathroom. I knocked on the door for him to open, but he said he felt like vomiting and would not want to gross me out. I asked what the problem was, and he said he must have had too much wine to drink and maybe that was why he was feeling that way. Without saying anything, I went to my room and shut the door behind me. Tears started streaming down my face. This man is obviously not attracted to me. This is the third day of our marriage. Why does he not want to sleep with me? Am I not attractive enough? God, why me? What did I ever do to deserve this? I have worshipped you all my life, stayed a virgin, never had premarital intercourse. So why did I end up with a man who is not interested in sleeping with me? I love my husband, but at this point I am desperate. I really need the touch of a man. He said he prayed about us getting married. So why are we even like this? I prayed too. Or did I really pray? God, help me. This is just too much. I was deep in my thoughts and was still crying when I heard a knock on my door. So I cleaned my tears, stood up to open it, and there he was with sadness written all over his face. "I have something to tell you," he said. My heart started beating fast. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so when I post the next episode, you will be among the first to watch. Thank you and remain blessed.